Thank you, Doc, thank you. I asked him to sing that song, so I know he grabbed it, learned it, went with it, and brought it forward this morning brilliantly. Thank you so much, Doc. With everything else that was going on in his life and all the emotions, he was still able to do it. I just love you. Thank you so much. Oh, good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Beverley Strutt, and I am so delighted to be a part of this community. So this morning, it is all about frivolity. All of it. Every single piece of it. So anything that goes this way or that way is perfect. We designed it that way. We made sure that we had all these little loose ends that were going to jump up and just surprise us. So this month, the theme for the month is called A Pause for Guidance. And today, the theme is Playful Pause. Really? They gave me that title? Did they know who they were giving it to? I mean, seriously, this is just what we do. We play. We play. But before we begin, because it's a playful pause today, I'm going to be throwing some little jokes at you. So we're going to start with one right away. 3 buddies die in a car crash, and they're up in heaven for their orientation. They're informed that they will have the opportunity to be present during their funeral. The orientation asks each, when you are in your casket and friends and family are mourning your passing, what would you like to hear them say about you? The first guy says, I would like to hear them say that I was a true friend, a great family man. The second guy says, oh, I'd like to hear that I was a wonderful husband and a school teacher who made a difference in many children's lives. The third man thinks for a minute and replies, I'd like to hear them say, oh my goodness, he's moving. You know what? Laughter is the key. Isn't laughter the key? So I've always found, and we do laughter meditations and people get all crazy and wonderful, but I just found that the story of my life has been pretty much I play. I like to play. There's been times when I've even been criticized for being, naive or immature or not serious enough. Yeah. I was actually one day, somebody said to me, why do you always have to be so positive? Can't you just be realistic? I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on, come and join my life. Come and join my bandwagon, and let's do life this way. It's not that things are not going to get serious. Of course they're going to get serious. But we can still come from that place of knowing that there is joy in everything, even in the toughest times. And we can lean in there. And when we come from that place, we can see the gifts that even the most difficult situations are creating for us. And we all do our playful pauses differently. And this afternoon, I'm getting to go with my beloved friend Karen off to Honolulu to see the Van Gogh exhibit. Yeah, talk about a playful pause. We're going to be standing in this creation. We're going to be just in awe of what's going on. That's the feeling I like to carry around in my life. And everybody does it a little differently. You don't have to be quite as energetic as me. You can sit and quiet, watch the butterflies, watch the birds, even the ants, the geckos. Man, I put out a little, because I'm still all new with the geckos and I'm in awe of them because I collected geckos my whole life. And now I actually have real ones that live with me. And Lena Ala has taught me how much they like coffee, except they don't like my coffee because I don't put sugar in it. They want the sugar. So I scraped a little papaya juice for them, put it out. They were in heaven. Now they come looking. They're like in the morning, I get up, they're like, where's our food? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I go, well, you guys were bad last night. There was a mosh party in the middle of my living room, and you left a lot of your own stuff behind. And all of those that know geckos, you know exactly what stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, they really need to work on their toiletries. I think I gotta leave some paper out for them. Maybe they'll clean up after themselves. But we all have our different ways of our pauses, and they can be gentle and calm. They can be in all these different forms, as long as you are taking the time to do that. Here comes another joke. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit walk into a bar. Yes, I was a bartender for many, many years. I've heard them all. And I can't use most of them from the pulpit. So let's go with this one. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The bartender asks the rabbit, "What would you like to drink?" The rabbit, looking very confused, says, "I don't even know why I'm here. There must have been a mistake with autocorrect." Ah, da-dum. Autocorrect, rabbit, rabbi. Ah, there we go. We're stretching a bit there. Anyway, so she caught it. Yes, second time around. We love it. So one of the wonderful things that we get to enjoy in our lives are our children. And when it comes to being playful, come on, they have got it down. Do you know that 6-year-olds laugh on average 300 times a day? Adults, 15 to 100. I think there's something we get to learn from the children. They're just wonderful teachers. They remind us so much of the joy, the fun experiences. They're just so happy to be alive. They haven't donned all of those things that we kind of learn along the way, that we shouldn't be feeling so much joy. We got to be serious. Yes, I don't think I've learned that lesson all the way yet. But when we watch them, there's everything around them brings them this awe, bring them the joy. They laugh so easily. They are just in the moment, not concerned about what has happened. The tears are gone. You've seen how quickly a child gets over the tears. It is a wonderful way to move forward through these situations. And then along with them, we have our playful pause. P-A-W-S. Right here. P-A-W-S. How can, just look at Coco. I mean, there is not a care in the world, and it's just this bundle of joy. I walk into Karen's home. She has these 2 big standard poodles, one black, one white, Yassa and Shay Shay. And Yassa looks at me, and both paws go up in the air, and I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play. And there's no way that I can stay in any other mood at that point than to just want to revel and just deepen myself into that beautiful moment of just sheer playful joy. A traveler visiting a monastery in the Himalayas is having dinner with the monks. Suddenly, one of the monks stands up and says loudly, 24! And the other monks chuckle and nod their heads in agreement. Another monk stands up and says, 37! Which brings even more laughter. The abbot explains to the traveler, we have told the same jokes so often that we've just numbered them. It's easier just to say the number. With that, the traveler stands up and shouts, 112! There was a moment of shocked silence, and then a deafening roar as every monk laughed raucously. The abbot said, "Good one." They hadn't heard that one before. Oh my goodness, I was hoping for this laughter today. It just makes it, because what can you say about playful pause, really? There's not a whole lot to grab onto this for a talk, but it is about the experience of knowing it and feeling it. And you know, there is a really important part for our health. You know, there's an important part, I think, for my sanity. You know, to be able to feel and see the joy around in everything. Confucius said, one joy dispels 100 cares. So how do we go about doing this in our day-to-day? We just incorporate it into our spiritual practice. We just do the things that bring us joy as our spiritual practice. I mean, I know of a lady that just loves ironing. Yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice of a playful pause, but it is hers. And that moment of zen for her, and I have actually watched her without her knowing, and there is this energy that just radiates around her because she is doing something that she really loves. Yeah, confusing for me, but still. Now, I love cooking. I love cooking. So when I'm having a really bad day, I have two choices. Either I allow the cooking to bring the joy to me, or I do not cook at all. Because if I can't step in and know I can adjust that feeling, my food is going to be yucky. Because I love that process so dearly that I know that my feelings and emotions will affect it. So you know what I do instead? I dance around the kitchen and then order in to go. But I still dance. I keep dancing. And Rumi says this, in order to understand the dance, we must be still. And in order to truly understand stillness, we must dance. I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to stick with that. I like that. So, obviously, I was a dancer growing up, well, actually, until I was quite old. I decided I had to quit because I didn't want to be too old on stage. But I am still a dancer in every way. So that is definitely a spiritual practice for me. Being playful in every situation is a spiritual practice. And awe, being in awe, is my favorite spiritual practice. Allowing myself to see anything, even stuff that I see every day, allow my attention to be taken there, to see the awe in the moment. When our eyes shift, so does our perception. So does our belief. We get a chance to look at everything with a new way. We can see it through the eyes of a child. We can see it through our own eyes. Sharing our experiences of awe will lead to an experience of reverence. In allowing one's authentic awe and wonder to be born again, and in welcoming the pure, the child and playfulness to come to self-expression, one is involved in co-creation. There is no creation without play. That's from Matthew Fox. There is no creation without play. Let's just look at what the Creator created. Have you noticed a giraffe? I'm going to have a horse with a long neck. Yeah. So we know that everything is created exactly for what it is, but let's look at the joy that everything has and brings with it. There is a difference in the feeling of happiness and joy. Happiness, and this is my personal feeling about it, everybody has their own, but for me, joy is a quality of the divine that is in all of us all the time. Happiness is created. We see it on the outside. We see it through our friends and our family. Joy is internal. It is something that cannot be touched, tarnished, given away. We can look away from it from time to time, and yet we can lean in and have that joy that will support us even in the hardest times. So getting back to dance. Krishna is one of the most popular of all Indian divinities, an incarnation of a Hindu god, Vishnu. He is known as the only dancing god in the world of religions. We see Krishna as the eternal lover, a musician, a dancer, one who dances in sheer ecstasy of divine union. Krishna is telling us in order to be godly, we don't have to be serious. Thank goodness. We have to learn to accept life as is and take life as a moment-to-moment celebration. And what's better than expression can one show than dance and music when our heart is filled with ecstasy of unity consciousness. I know I speak to the dancers in this community. There is nothing like dancing to that ecstasy. All right, I got to bring you another joke. Got to keep it going here. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbi. They left the rabbit behind. A priest, a pastor, and a rabbi want to see who's best at their job. So they each go into the woods, find a bear, and attempt to convert it. Later they get together to confer their stories. The priest begins. When I found the bear, I read to him from the catechism and sprinkled him with holy water. Next week is his first communion. Woohoo! I found a bear by the stream, said the pastor, and preached God's holy word. The bear was so mesmerized that he let me baptize him. Yes. They both looked down at the rabbi, who was lying on a gurney in a body cast. Looking back, he says, maybe I shouldn't have started with the circumcision. So why do we deserve to live joyful lives? What is it that we as humans, these human beings walking this planet, why is joy and joyful, playful lives our birthright? Because we breathe, because we're here. In the CSL Global Vision, they say we envision all people, all beings, and all life as expressions of God. That includes us. We are expressions. Thank you, Coco. We are expressions of the divine, right here, right now, exactly as we are, exactly as we're not, nothing broken, nothing to fix, everything is absolutely perfect in us. But we are God expressing. Without us, these forms, these individual experiences will never happen. Never. Now, I'm going to tell you my opinion here, and I will always talk from the I. I do not think that God has hands, a mouth, teeth, a tongue, none of that. But we do. We are the hands, the mouth, the teeth of God. We are the vocal cords. We are the laughter. We are that expression of the divine as us. We get to live those magnificent lives that God wants to enjoy through and as us. Isn't that brilliant? Doesn't that just, everybody want to know, what's the meaning of life? That's it. Right there. That's the meaning of life. Live joyously, live big, live as magnificently to the highest ideal that God can possibly imagine for you. Isn't that magnificent? Even Dr. Ernest Holmes, spirit thinks or knows within itself, and as a result of this inner action, creation manifests. Creation is the play of life upon itself through divine self-imagination. Spirit must create in order to be experienced. He continues, there is ever pressing against this dynamic force that which paints the sunset and causes the soft glow of the evening twilight, sings in the bird and plays in the child, and proclaims itself at the level of our recognition of it. Every person is an outlet for the divine. Every person is an outlet divine. Unique, individual, own desires, own choices, own playful pauses and playful pause as well. Everything is unique and individual. You get to do it your way, but you've got to do it. Because if you don't, it will never be expressed. This is what we get to do. And if we can laugh along the way, we are laughing. We are the joyful expression of the divine, right here, right now. So in our faith, our simple, childlike faith that restores us to wholeness, the life of a child is lived in natural goodness and wholeness. God is natural goodness. We can return to the way we first began as children, knowing that life is good and it is to be trusted. Out of this innocence, there is a wisdom that springs perennially from the inner life. That was written by Scott Aubrey, a contributor that I tell you every week he brings forth the most amazing things to support our sermons. So, when you are taking a playful pause, not only is it a wonderful gift to give your physical body a moment to rest and rejuvenate, you're also giving your spirit a moment to know its true self, to reconnect with the truth of who we are, spiritual beings, and the truth of why we're here, to be a magnificent expression of the divine, so that the divine can know itself. Many of us as parents have had the great moments when children from our neighborhood knock at the door and then ask if our child can come out and play. And that is life's constant inquiry to us. Will you come out and play? When you are holding or looking into the eyes of a loved one, or when you're laughing or crying with a good friend, or enjoying your mountains or a beautiful sunset, that's life. That's God asking, can you come out and play with me? So I have a charge for you this week. Come out and play when life calls. Don't hesitate. Don't wonder if you can spare the time. Don't say maybe tomorrow. Jump at that opportunity to be the joyful expression you were created to be. Laugh, play, dance, sing. Do whatever it is that reminds you of who you truly are. The joy of the divine. And please, laugh, 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 and laugh some more. And so it is. Let's take this to prayer. So as we breathe into this moment, this joyful moment that is filled up and overflowing with laughter, with love, with joy, with wonderment, and with awe, We recognize the one power, the one source, the one universal creative mind that is God, that is Spirit. It is whatever name you want to give it. It is source, creative intelligence, but it is the very essence of who we all are. So I know that as we walk our path through this week and out into the world, that we do it with a playful bounce. We do it with an awe and a looking and seeing how our eyes can shift to re-know that which we know already and to recognize in us the truth of who we are, that we are the expressions of the divine, exactly as we are and exactly as we are not. And we are brilliant. So I just released this prayer knowing that Spirit has said, yes, my beloveds, yes, I see you, I hear you, I laugh with you, and I know it is great. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know about the rest of you, but I needed all those laughs today. So thank you for the wonderful talk and the wonderful message. And now it's time to step into conscious giving. And as always, we thank you for your continued and generous support of our center. And we have a little video that will show you all the different ways you may continue to give. And now please repeat with me, if you would like, our prosperity affirmation. Divine love, in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is. Okay, here comes Doc again to play for us.